You've influenced a couple major bust outs. Way not being the only one. I don't want to talk about like your best show if it's not your best show, but
That is my best show.
yeah, please take the floor.
Best show ever, best day ever, best moment, memory, everything
Yeah.
ever. August 11th, 24, last summer, Bethel, night three. Yeah, as you know, I'm the tour coordinator and merchandise manager for Divided Sky Foundation. It was new last year that they decided they wanted a table presence on a full Phish tour, and fate led them to asking me to run it all. And how could I say no to that?
Right.
And I had no clue what I was getting myself into. But of course, I said yes. And it's been a lot of work, but it's been super rewarding. And to be able to give back to this community that I love so much in a positive way, opposed to all the years I took from the scene and ruined my show and other people's shows and was a chomper during the show. So, yeah, so now I'm working for Divided Sky Foundation and I am at the table at every single show. And I just, thought maybe I might get to meet Trey since I'm working for his foundation. So before I left for tour, I wrote Trey a letter just in case I got the opportunity to meet him, and I carried it on me everywhere last summer. Every show, if I was going to get coffee, just everywhere. And I finally let go of the idea of meeting Trey. I was like, when would you have time to stop by the table? Like it's busy, he's getting ready for the show. So let it go. And, as the saying is, once you let something go, then it comes to
Man.
you. So like 2 days later, I get a call that I have been invited to sound check at Bethel night three and to show up at this time and go to the box office with your ID and pick up your guest pass. Trey wants to, you know, talk to you and know how the table's been going on tour. And I was freaking out because this is the moment I am meeting my idol. And it's not just like bumping into him on the street, it's kind of a little bit of a business meeting. He wants to know what's happening with his nonprofit. So I, had wrote up some bullet points and had some, talking points to go over. So I gave him valuable feedback of how the table had been going, what have I been hearing from friends, or from fans and the main takeaways. And so my anxiety was through the roof. I, was like, I hope I can
I
speak.
mean,
So
I can
yeah,
only imagine. I mean, like even when as you're putting together the talking points, you're like, Who am I? What is this? What am I putting together a meeting for Trey right now? This, yeah,
yes,
like, what's
yeah.
going on?
So I was a ball of nerves. I'm pretty sure I cried because I've looked up to Trey for years,
Yeah,
in the years I've struggled with addiction and when I first tried getting sober, and he's always been this beacon of light and hope. So the sound check was really cool to be a part of that. I went back with a few other people who are involved with Divided Sky, and they're like, sit if you want to sit, or dance if you want to dance. Just no cameras, no phones, nothing. Like, and that was cool because we're the only ones in there at that point, along with the crew. And we're jamming out, and
oh,
they did a Soul Planet, very typical, or my soul um, sound check and some weird noises and things like that. So walk over and talking to Trey, we meet him, and he recognized me. He knew who I was, and just this surreal moment of Trey thanking me. And I,
you're like,
if
dude,
not for this, I would, yeah, I'm like, no, 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 you don't understand. Like,
brother.
thank you. But just so surreal. Trey knew who I was. He recognized me right away. He's thanking me. He is asking questions. He seemed very interested in the feedback I was providing. And we're all talking about Divided Sky and all sorts of things. Everyone's kind of giving their piece and their role with like the website and this and that. And right away the nerves disappear because Trey is so nice.
Yeah,
He just is very friendly and approachable, and it makes you feel like you're talking to your best friend that you've known for years. And then he pulls out his phone and he's like looking at some things, and his screen is busted. And so we're like, oh, he's just a regular person,
Yeah.
looking at a busted phone screen. So like very humanizing at that point. But yeah, so at this point, he's like, oh, you guys want to see the Oatly machine? And I'm just like, yeah, of course. And like, and walk in, and I'm just sitting there like, what is an Oatly machine? I don't know, but I'd follow Trey anywhere, and that's what I'm
Super
doing,
down.
And backstage, they had an ice cream machine with oat milk.
Oh,
That's the Oatly
okay.
machine.
Hell yeah.
So now I'm eating ice cream with Trey on a beautiful summer's day. And at that moment is when I handed him my letter, and um, he's looking at it and smiling, kind of shook it because I put like, the note and like some stickers, and he's like so cute, like a kid on Christmas shaking the present. And at that point, I just felt comfortable, and shot my shot. So my 100th show was going to be at Dick's, or it was at Dick's, but I said, oh, and by the way, my 100th show is Dick's Night 1. So if you want to play Fikus, that would totally be okay. And I was like joking, but not
Yeah.
really. And they played Fikus that night, first set, and I couldn't believe it, So I was just like, oh my God, because I've had moments over the years, I'm sure other people have, of, Phish is in your head, and I just have these thoughts of like, Phish is playing for me
Yeah.
and only me because this just makes sense. And how could they know this? Like the signs and synchronicities and all the connections. But in that moment, Phish played for me.
Yeah.
And after the show, I, was talking to some different people. The president of the board, Divided Sky, is showing me text messages because he had texted me earlier about asking me, are you going to be in the show at all? Like, come play, like, your volunteers have it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to come into the show. Well, turns out Trey was texting our president. He was texting Melanie, the program director. Phish's tour manager was like involved in sending texts. And so basically the text and like the screenshots that were sent to me is Trey's going to play that song for Sarah. He wants to make sure she's not stuck at the table. So don't tell her, but make sure she's in the show. And I ended up meeting Trey a second time at Dick's, doing some interviews for Divided Sky, and he asked about, how's summer been and what's your favorite show? And I told him, I was like, well, obviously Fikus is my best show ever. And he's like, oh yeah, we totally play that for you. We would have never done that if not for you. And Trey pulls out his phone again, and he's showing me like text messages. He's like, see, I was like calling Melanie and I was texting her a bunch. And he's like, it was like 5 minutes before we were walking on stage. See the timestamp? And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And Melanie had responded to him like, aren't you busy right now? Because yeah, like 5 minutes before the band is taking stage, Trey is calling and texting everyone to make sure I am in the show because they're playing this song for me. And I still can't believe
Man.
it. It is just that for me. And some of the messages after that, someone had texted Trey and he showed me his text. He's Sarah, that was the best day of her life. Thank you so much. And Trey's like, oh, I'm so happy she got Fikus. That was all her,
Yeah.
She's the cosmic instigator on that one. And so I just can't even believe it. So yeah, the first time, because for years I've dreamt of meeting Trey and what would that interaction be like and what would I say? And so for that dream to really come true and to meet Trey, have a beautiful conversation with him thanking me, and to play the song that I requested is, I mean, I don't know how I'm ever going to top that moment. It's like I peaked. I still can't come down from that moment. So that is absolutely my best show ever because I feel like Fikus was a really big thank you for all the work and sacrifice I made for, working for Divided Sky Foundation. It wasn't easy. I'm disconnected from the music on several occasions. I'm not in the show hearing every single song. I'm folding shirts. I'm having heavy conversations about addiction and death. And it's different, my Phish experience now, but it's such a gift to be able to grow and evolve with my favorite band and to be more than just a showgoer. So I I mean, I can't picture my Phish experience to be any different at this point.
Yeah.
Like this is what I do now. I fold shirts at
Yeah,
Phish.
yeah. I mean, and I mean now, I mean, I'm sure that there are people who are going to multiple stops of fish shows that are just completely associating you with what you do, but you're like, this is new to me. This is I'm still working on all of the different areas of like what's gonna make me good at this, but like, man, what a little bit of recognition from your boss. Holy shit, like at any
Exactly.
job you want that, but like when the guy like that is involved, like he gave you Sarah night. It was like totally Sarah Day, Sarah night. Like have her come to the sound check, like
Yeah.
let's get the ficus going. Like it is totally your night. Making sure you're not at the table, like all the follow up is just yeah, that's